It's Marissa, MKissaCreations, and I am in the home stretch on Consider the Lilies. So I'll show you. I just have the top of this flower right here to do. So I am going to stitch this on a live and finish Consider the Lilies. So we are going to see how this works, and hopefully I can get this done fairly quickly so that it's not a super long live, but we're going to work on it. So I'm going to flip you. Oh, no, I'm not, because it's locked. Okay. So we're going to see how this goes. Let's see. I think I've got an okay little setup right here that's going to let you see what I'm up to. And I am going to see if I can. Alrighty. So we're going to do a little picture in picture. Let's see if I can do. All right, we're going to finish the lilies. This way, I can. Hi, thank you for joining. I am going to get this done, I think. So I just have teeny tiny little flower left. Well, it's not that teeny tiny, but it'll happen. All right, so I have you on my computer too. There you go. There you go. It's unfrozen. Okay. Well, hopefully it will stay unfrozen because it froze. Sorry, you guys. Let's see. And get some kitty in the background too. And all right. All right. It's funny. I always have these like fun little names for all the symbols. And do you have names for your symbols? Like there's one, I always call it the Tootsie Roll, and there's like another one, the mountain, and I don't know. I just have, I guess, little funny names for everything. I'm very excited to be finishing this project finally. I have been working on Consider the Lilies since March of 2020, which is when it came out. My cats are being loud. All right. So here we go. Final steps. I'm glad I'm not the only one that is making up silly names for my symbols. It is, I don't know. I guess I feel like it's just like this weird little thing that I've always done. And my gosh, I'm all nervous trying to stitch with being watched. It's like when you use, when you have to type in front of somebody else. Oh my gosh, my cats never meow and they're meowing. And running into my stuff. When you have to type in front of other people or like use Excel and you feel like you can't function and you're like, I swear I know how to do this. It's not something that is brand new to me at this exact moment, but I'm a little shaky. Maybe I had too much coffee today. But we're gonna finish this last flower on this ginormous project on the last day of February. I was gonna film this tomorrow, but I really, really wanted to get a finish in February because I had a big finish from my whip list in January. And so I thought that it would be cool to be able to have another big finish. Maybe I can have a big finish each month. That would be like absolutely ideal. I feel like this would have been like way more fun to do as a Zoom, but I am not a person with a fancy paid account, and I think this is going to take me more than the allotted like half an hour or 40 minutes. But I am so pumped that we are here. You know, I'm excited for me too. It's been a long time coming, and I am ready for it to be done. This is my first time ever doing a live, so whether or not I have people join me, I am so glad to have you here. So glad you are here, Sloan Stitches. You have to remind me what your first name is because you are Sloan Stitches, and then I'm like, I forget people's first names. But yeah, I am. Oh, this is real. I can't believe this is real. That this time is here. Oh my gosh. Jess, yes, thank you. I will try to be better about remembering that. I have one of my bridesmaids was Jess, so hopefully that will stick in my brain now and I can remember it forever. Oh my gosh, I really am like, I'm all shaky. I don't know if it's because it's alive or if it's because I'm just really stinking excited. I gave my girls their tablets for the afternoon for this so that we could have a little bit of quiet. And I was like, I will make dinner for you when I finish. Don't know when that will be. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. But I wanted to get on there. So, yay! Catherine. I am so pumped. So pumped. Thank you for joining me. And I figured if I had this, like, I was like, oh, I'll wait until Sunday and finish it. Or I'll wait until tomorrow. Yeah, Sunday, tomorrow, and finish it then. But then it's going to be March 1st, and I'm going to want to be stitching moths and then like checking everyone else's collections out. It's been so fun to see everybody's little vignettes that they're posting and all their awesome projects that they're going to be working on. And it's just, this is for real. Krista at Cloverhop Stitching yesterday sent me that like a gif of the scene in The Office with the fire drill where he's like, it's happening. It's like, that is a perfect GIF usage for this moment right here that that I love. So I started this before I had a Lowry stand and before I knew how to do two-handed stitching, and I definitely think that the world of two-handed stitching has made my life better. So if that is not in your repertoire yet, I think that I highly recommend giving it a shot. Maybe not starting off with the Lowry stand, like figuring out some other way you can do it to see if you actually like it or if it works for you. I feel like it does take a little bit of getting used to. And like what side you want your stand on, because even if you're yes, I'm finishing Consider the Lilies. This is the final stretch. This is my last little portion of a motif. This is, we are here. It is happening. It is happening. Yeah, I feel like there's a learning curve, but like once you hit a stride, I feel like everything moves like two times fast. It's a lot faster just being hands free, especially if you can figure out a way to like have your pattern in a good spot that works for you. I kind of go back and forth on how I do that. Sometimes I'll use like another needle minder and like stick it on the side right here and like if it's a paper pattern and clip my pattern to that. But I don't have like one of those fancy smancy like clip connectors to connect anything to my Lowry. Um, but it seems to work fine. I wiggle around it. I also don't have a Q-snap clip, even though I stitch primarily in Q-snaps. I just stick my Q-snap into the side and wrap my grime guard around it, and it usually works out pretty well that way. Are you all stitching while you watch? Are you having a stitchy Saturday? Or are you skipping out on chores? Oh, this is so good. The colors in this are so good. Oh, I love that tree of books. It is so pretty. And like Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, starting it too for the, or I don't know if she already started it or not, but she has that one. It's beautiful, full coverage piece. Yeah, if I'm stitching not on the stand, sometimes I have a couple projects that I stitch in hand, and there's no real rhyme or reason as to which ones I've chosen to do that with. Like I'm stitching 324 in hand, and what else? I have the Birds of a Feather Sally Spencer I stitch in hand, and I'm not quite sure why I chose to stitch those ones in hand. It's just how it worked out. The 324 was much easier to stitch in hand because I like jump around a lot on it, and so I don't have to move my hoop or Q-snap or whatever. But yeah. I am watching my own stream because I wanted to be able to chat with you, and this is my first live, and I was trying to figure out how I could see it while you could also see what I was doing kind of over my shoulder. So I figured I would just stick my own stream up there and be able to start it. Oh, so she has a couple of months under her for the book lover sale. She's got a pretty hefty whip list though, so I imagine she hasn't worked on it as much. Yeah, I had a little bit of a floss tubey morning, and then also watched a Disney cruise video while I untangled my 10-year-old's hair. If you watch my floss tubes, you know I have a ton of hair, and my oldest daughter also has the same amount of giant hair. And I remember my mom trying to get rat's nests out of the like neck area of my hair when I was younger and just crying and crying. So we found some floss tube videos to watch. She didn't want to watch floss tube. I don't think there was anybody that she like recognized having watched before, so yes, I feel like that was like what my whole idea with that Sal was going to be about, was just to really like have a good excuse to work on those things that we like to collect, but then not work on. They get kind of like misguided. I tried WhipGo one year and I don't like being told what to do. So I felt like, I feel like this is a good little motivator for me. Yes, it is the daughter that started stitching. My other one does stitch too, but she's not quite to pattern following yet. But yeah, I felt like we had to figure out something to do to make her let me tame the rat's nest that had existed in her hair. She's a blondie though. She's a or strawberry. She got that from my husband. She doesn't have the dark her. My little one has the dark hair, and she looks exactly like me. My older daughter, her face looks like mine a little bit, but she often more resembles my husband's family. I was so happy when she showed me that piece, though. Oh my gosh, it was so good. We had a little family viewing of that floss tube video the other day, so she could watch me react again. But that was a pretty great Santa present, and then a pretty great present for me afterwards. It would have been fun if the cats like continued to frolic around in the living room, but they're both up in their little basket by the window, being very snuggly. It was warmer here today in Maine, but it wasn't super warm. We tapped we have a maple tree in our front yard that we tap, and while it is only one tree, it is so large that we put 3 taps in it. And so we did that this morning. If you're unfamiliar with the sugaring process, you tap your tree when the like average temperatures at night are still below freezing, but the daytime temperatures are above, and that's what makes the sap run in the trees. And so it was that time. Today we were I think we almost got up to 40 at one point, which was pretty awesome. It was nice out and it was really sunny, and then it got really yucky. My little one had a friend over for a play date, and I thought I was going to be able to send them outside to play in the snow that is still on the ground, but it was not the best outside play weather. So we had them come back in, and they made it outside for like 10 minutes, and then were bored. But bored is good. Bored makes you creative. Been having that fight with the children's lately. Did I make a boo-boo? I made a boo-boo. Not a counting boo-boo, just I went into the wrong hole boo-boo. I'm a floss licker, but I'm not gonna like stick my head down to my thing right now. So you just can watch me struggle through this rethreading. Oh, it wasn't too terrible. Why? Okay, I think it's in the right spot. I don't know why it's so hard. 5. Also was like nervous that I was maybe gonna not be able to count properly. You're in Ohio, right, Jess? 60. That sounds lovely. I miss the sun. I'm because I've always lived in California, I'm like or well, until 2018 was when we moved here, but I've never been one of those people that realizes that you have to take vitamin D. And so now in like the end of February, I finally started taking a vitamin D supplement because I was like, I think I need this in my life now. Why does this part look so wonky? Oh, there's a very small thing in the linen. Is that what it is? Yeah. We're gonna finish this. It's gonna be great. On the floss, and then you don't unpinch it hard, then insert the. That's interesting. I'll have to like read that more carefully and then actually try it. I've just always been a floss licker. I tried like a little, you go to a retreat or two and you end up with a couple of like freebie cute little thread waxers, and I don't know, it's just never really done it for me. So I've just always been a licker. All right, the eighth wonder of the world, the backside of a project. Oh, look at these cute kitty snips. Beep, beep. These were from the Halloween box that Color and Cotton did like forever ago. Forever. When she used to do boxes. She always had really good ones. Or at least all the goodies in it were good. I feel like a lot of times when you buy a box, you get like a bunch of stuff that either you won't use or that is kind of junky. I haven't done a box from anybody in a long time though, so I could be mistaken in that. There could be some really great boxes out there. All right. Did I put it down the bottom part? Yeah. Had good light. I swear when I started, I could see it. That is one of my favorite parts of floss tube, is like how you pick up like random skills and tricks and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, Jess, I don't know if I shared this with you, when you said that you got medicine and poison into Pattern Keeper by like going into the like original mode or whatever, I can't tell you how fast I ran to my tablet to do that, and I am so forever grateful. It's funny, sometimes I feel like I'm sharing things that are so trivial and might not matter, but I'm insanely grateful for FlossTube for teaching me new tips and tricks and random little tidbits that really help out with life. I also texted Helen like immediately and said, because we had both been complaining about how it was difficult to stitch that pattern because we didn't get it into Pattern Keeper. So she was very grateful. I gave credit to you, of course. She was like, "You're a queen." I said, "It wasn't me. It was Sloan Stitches. She did it. She's so smart." that it is a doozy without Pattern Keeper. I stitched most of what I already have done without it. I was using it like the PDF stitch rather than printing it out and doing paper because the page breaks were pretty gnarly too. So it was a very helpful hint, at least for me and for Helen. We are very grateful for you sharing. But yes, I always end up sharing stuff that I'm like, this might not matter to anybody, but it might matter to somebody. And that somebody will be grateful when they figure it out. So those little threading and pin stitch, and as you saw, I tucked my thread behind. I do turn my project a lot. I don't particularly like how a pin stitched start looks. I've never really been able to perfect it, and I feel like it looks different than my other stitches. So it was just I don't know. I don't do it. I run my floss under threads on the back, and it works just fine. And I get those little guys going. Yes. Oh man, the gadgets. So many gadgets. I feel like, well, like these guys, and then I have like one of the like cable tie magnet things on here. I feel like those like really had their heyday in the moment when everyone discovered them. It was like so great. This grime guard I made so long ago that the elastic's not super stretchy, and especially with a project like this that has so much fabric on it, it like doesn't always hold it good. So I feel like all these extra things can be helpful. I feel like every time I go to a retreat and like somebody breaks out their cool new setup, that you realize you need something else too. It's a dangerous sport, this stitching. All right, I'm gonna make my threads just be in a big pile over here. I will clean them up after I am done with all of you. Let's see what is next. Yes, the olive. If you didn't get on here before, I was talking about how I have like weird little names for some of the symbols that everybody uses for their pattern making. And the current one is going to be the olive. Okay, so I also quilt. I have no idea what a quilter's knot is. Is that like when you roll it between your fingers, or is it something different? Oh, I feel like the loop starts are when you find out a loop start, it's such a lifesaver when you're stitching with 2 strands of DMC. Although I am like if I am stitching with white or like an ecru or beige, I tend to not use the loop start because I find that my stitches lay flatter if I use strands that are like in the same direction. It makes them seem a little bit more uniform. see if I can get myself a little bit more light. Nope. It's like a weird dusky time of day, and my pattern is in an interesting spot. A French knot here. Oh, I mean, that's probably what it is. I have no idea. Like I said, I do also quilt, but I just haven't like used that style. I think a lot of my quilting has been self-taught, like most crafts, which is why I don't knit anymore, or I've tried a couple times, but I'm a crocheter also, and I've been crocheting for so long that I know how to do most stuff, and I know how to read patterns, and I know how to cross stitch, and I mostly know how to quilt. And so when I try a new thing that is like hard for me to do, I get frustrated and decide that I know how to do other things better, and I should just do that. I have squawky children. I'm gonna holler at them real quick. Hey girls, can you close your door, please? Yeah, I know. Thank you. It's funny because we give them their Amazon tablets, and I expect them just to like totally zone into it. But it's kind of nice because I don't know, they play games together and like kind of chit chat through it. So I guess it's good that they're not totally zonked into those. We only do screen time on the weekends, and only when we need a hot second as grown-ups to grown up. Yeah. I am basically done. I just needed to stitch this one last thing, and I wanted to do it with a bunch of people that understand what this life is of these giant projects. I think I'm going to film every week too during March, so you won't have to wait like another week and a half to see this one in the floss tube video. Although I'll probably be so excited that I will immediately take it out here. But I feel like on this up and down screen, it won't be as like fun to see. I can like wrangle my husband in to hold up the phone so that I can like actually do it instead of having it on its like weird tripod-y thing that it's on behind me. I feel like the angle is like kind of off, so you can't totally see my stitching, but I also don't want to move you a ton because it got you into a place that sort of works, and I feel like I might make you fall down. And then we have to go through that whole like earthquake scenario / seasick scenario of moving you. Oh, I agree. I mean, video tutorial, YouTube's amazing. I fixed, during COVID, our shower broke to the point that like we couldn't turn it off. And then we finally like wrenched it off, but we couldn't not get a plumber out to our house to save our lives. I mean, it was miserable. And I looked up on YouTube how to do it, and like I had to buy like $150 special tool that like pushed the handle in or took it out. I don't remember which. And was able to fix our shower for like $60 instead of probably what would have cost, I don't know, maybe 300. But on top of that, like we literally couldn't even get anybody out to our house. So like YouTube totally saved the day on that. It's also how we learned how to tap our maple tree, and how to boil. Although there's so many sugar houses around here, and a lot of the ones in the area, they there's a thing called Maine Maple Sunday. It's the third weekend in March, and all the sugar houses in Maine have little, I mean, if they're a tiny operation, sometimes they just have like a little booth where they sell, but a lot of the bigger operations have like these giant pancake breakfasts and craft fairs and pony rides, and they open up their like homesteads for kind of like petting zoos and stuff. They'll have all their goats and everything all around, and so it's really awesome. But yeah, yes, YouTube is an absolute blessing for learning things. Pretty sure I've replaced some parts of our toilet from YouTube also. Um, done a lot of home plumbing has been happening, which I feel like might be dangerous for future us. But for right now, everything has, nothing's been like, no gross plumbing, just like faucet plumbing. Although one of the things I did, I ended up having to call a plumber out, but I think I saved us a couple extra hours of labor because I definitely got the job started, but I just couldn't get it finished. I wasn't strong enough and or didn't have the right tools, but all right, so I now have like one more little accent color that, like, this pink, it's Tennessee red clay. And then I just have to fill in the middle with honeycomb. So I am super duper duper close now. Be interesting. I was curious how long it would take me. This flower is over 200 stitches, but again, two-handed stitching on a Lowry stand is amazing. Plus, like, the single strand of floss, I feel like makes life better. Catherine, I just like looked up and saw that you said that sounds like so much fun, and I was just finishing talking about home plumbing repair, and then I realized you were probably talking about Maine Maple Sunday. Anyways, but with Maine Maple Sunday, like, a lot of the bigger places, they do tours and they like show their sugar shacks and they explain how they do everything. So if you're a home like maple syrup producer, then it's a great place to ask questions, and they're all super nice. It's like not a gatekeeping community at all. There's just a lot of support in it. And it's just so cool. I feel like if we ever move from this house, we will look for a property that has sugar bush, more maple trees in it, so that we can do a little bit more of that as it stands. So come for the stitching, get the maple syrup lecture. Um, um, sugar maples, which we don't have a sugar maple in our front yard. It's a different kind of maple tree. I'm not exactly sure what. I've tried to look it up a couple times, and then by the time the leaves are there and I actually could probably look it up, I always forget that I actually probably should know. But sugar maples, the boil rate, it's a 40-to-1 ratio. So you get, like, if you got 40 gallons of sap, which we don't, well, actually we kind of almost do. If you get 40 gallons of sap, you would get 1 gallon it would boil it down to 1 gallon of syrup. So it's a lot of sap that you have to collect. But our tree is really large, so it has 3 taps in it. We typically get about like a half of a gallon of a quart and a pint. I would say a quart and a pint of syrup at the end of by the end of the season. a lot of times we miss our final boil because life just starts getting busy. But like being able to tap the tree today was so nice because it just means that like winter actually is coming to an end. It's been a very snowy winter. We have had at least 5 inches of snow on the ground for the last month and a half, maybe. Usually it's kind of it come like the last couple years we would get a storm and then it would be beautiful and it would all melt, and then we get a storm and then it would be beautiful and it would all melt. So this year tapping our trees on or our tree on the 28th of March, February, wow, just jump ahead another month. um on the 28th of March is actually very late for us. We're usually like well into our first boil. um, and we do most of our boiling outside. You could technically do it inside, but because we don't have an evaporator, which people is what people use who have like larger operations and a sugar shack, we just boil ours in a giant hotel pan over our fire pit. But with a 40-to-1 ratio, you're evaporating so much liquid that if you do it in your kitchen, you'd probably like need to be standing there in your bathing suit because it would be so like muggy and sticky. And even with the way that it is, we do have to we can't usually keep the temp when it is like at the final boiling stages. You have to get it to a certain temperature for it to be that syrup. But once we kind of get it to that temperature, we bring it inside. And even just bringing it inside and reducing it maybe like in half. No, you don't add any water. But then it's like super, super, super like wet. Like I wipe down our vent hood constantly. Like it will be dripping. And that's even just boiling it down. But no, you don't add water. Sap looks like water. People will drink sap like straight from the tree. Um, it's it's got like electrolytes in it, I think. Almost like a having like a sports drink. Some people will drink it like that, but there's also there can be bacteria in it and things like that. You treat sap like milk. So once it comes out of the tree, it kind of needs to be kept at a low temperature, which usually it's fine. We keep ours in like all of our 3 taps go into the same 5-gallon bucket, like a food grade bucket. And then once that bucket is full, we just switch it out to another one so that we're ready to boil. Typically, we don't boil until we have at least 3 buckets full. So we'll just kind of keep them outside, packed with snow around them. Some people will keep them in their basement and do it that way. But yeah, it's oh yes. Oh my gosh, the cracking branches in that ice storm. That was the last time I did a stitch along. But I didn't. It was funny because I just filmed that one. I didn't do it live. That ice storm was our first ice storm. That was crazy. I had never heard those sounds before in my life. It was absolutely nuts. Yeah, of course. You're I think there's actually a couple floss tubers that also do their own maple syrup. Lynette Homesteading on the Home Front. She hasn't posted in a while, but she does maple syrup, and I think Missy at Two Needles Pulling Thread also does makes her own maple syrup as well. There's a couple of us that have that. I do wish we had more trees though. I used to think that I wanted like a full farm, but really I would love to just be like a maple farm, maple tree syrup producer. Like I said, we've talked about if we move somewhere, we would add that to what we were looking for as far as our new requirements for a home go, is having more trees that we can tap. Maybe I'll share a little bit more in like my floss tube video, but like I have pictures. One of the maple farms that we go to, I think if their neighbors aren't producers as well, they will run lines, like they run lines across the street, like over the top of the street from one side to the other. I mean, maple farms with like intense lines where they all just kind of dump into their sugar house where they boil from. It's quite interesting looking around here in Maine during this time of year when you drive a little bit more into the country and the areas that have a lot of people that produce syrup. But yeah, Maine Maple Sunday is a fun one. It's kind of this like tradition to see how many sugar shacks you can go to. One year we did 4, which doesn't seem like a ton, but everything's kind of far apart here, and it's usually sort of like it's always mud season when it's happening. So it can be kind of treacherous to get through some of these people's houses. There's a Mennonite family that has a maple farm, and so then like the other people in their community will bring all of their wares too. So it's like an amazing place to grab like honey and fresh eggs, and it's like a really, I don't know, it's really cool to be able to like find all of that stuff in one spot. But it's always fun. The kids get to run around and play, and there's one of the places does, I forget what they call it. It's like snow maple, and they put snow out, and then they drip like warm maple syrup onto it, and then you like scoop it up with a popsicle stick, and it's like this. It makes like a snow candy, like a not a hard candy, but like a chewy kind of caramel. I don't know, it's really good. They also always do ice cream with maple syrup on it, which is fantastic. I just really missed that whole. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ugh, I need to put more of this color on for like 4 stitches, but I'm not gonna fight it. I am gonna post in my next floss tube about the thread usage for this project with stitching on a larger fabric, because the model is stitched on 28 count with 1 strand, and so there are some of the flosses that it said to buy 2 of that I did not even tap into, although I did need you would have needed all 3 skeins of Oscar, which is the color for the border, but it's also used in a lot of the motifs too. Like this is Oscar right here, and the lighter green in here is Oscar also. So it's used in a lot of the motifs, and it's in a lot of the border. Beck Stitches Everything messaged me the other day that she was sick of Oscar because she's trying to finish up this one also. She's made a ton of progress too this year. She was the one that inspired me to finish. And somebody met at the Jingle Ball in speed dating. I forget who it was, but we were chatting, and she said she had finished it, and she just forced herself to sit and like do it. And I think she was doing like a motif a week or something like that, and that was how she got herself there. But I was definitely that like 1-2 punch of her mentioning that, and then Beck Stitches Everything saying that she was going to finish it this year. It was like sort of it was a good push that I definitely needed. So okay, last color, if I can find it on this floss monster. Alrighty, here we go. Hopefully it'll just be this last strand. It's not my full length that I normally use, but wait, it's like the final countdown. Oh my gosh. This is so exciting. I can't even floss the needle. Okay. It's not none stitches, but it shouldn't take too long. Like, I think this whole thing might be like about an hour to stitch this last little flower. Felt like a good little flower to end on though. So with chatting, I feel like it's not too bad time-wise. I stitch with really long strands in case you aren't noticing that I'm pulling them very far. I get made fun of in our stitching group quite a bit. Oh, this color is light, and the light outside is making my eyeballs say wah. But it's gonna be okay. It's really nice to not be rage finishing a project. I don't know if you've ever rage finished anything, but I feel like you usually make mistakes when you rage finish things, when it's just like you're so done with it. So this project has really just been joy all the way along, which is awesome. They're not like insane, I guess, but just sometimes I feel like they are. I don't ever actually measure them. But if even when I'm stitching with one strand, I would say it's probably in between 2 feet and 3, and then fold it over. So it's like almost an 18-inch when it's like doubled over. Yes, the second half project is not made for love. Yeah, I haven't. The last 2 finishes have not been rage finishes, which has been nice, but gosh, sometimes those you're just so stinking sick of it, and it's like time to go, get off my hoop, but it has to be done. And so it is, but this one is not. This one is not. This fabric has been lovely. It'll be interesting to see kind of like how it frames and stretches, just because it's not linen in like the fabric type sense. Like it is linen looking in the how the threads are sense, but like I think it's a polyester or some other synthetic, but it doesn't wrinkle, which is nice, because I feel like a lot of times when I stitch linen projects, ironing them out at the end is so miserable, especially when you've stitched it with like silk or fancy floss and you're worried about it being color safe, so you can't like use that much steam, or you can't spray it with anything to try to help get the wrinkles out. I mean, some pieces I feel like I've put into frames and the wrinkles are almost still there, even if it's been like hanging in my closet or stretching. There's a knot in here. I just said I wasn't gonna rage finish it. What's happening? I spoke too soon. That's what you get for using long strands. All right, hold on. We're going to pull this all the way over here, and then we're just going to cut it. It's going to be great. And we're not going to rage finish this. We're going to let it be the peaceful, beautiful project that it has always been. That's going to be lovely. All right, problem solved, hopefully. Ooh, also, quick product plug, especially because I've had to rethread a couple times and it's gone pretty quick. The pony needles with the colored heads seem to be like a little bit larger than like the eye of the needle is easier to see because it's colored. So it's a silver needle. I know like pony black needles had their like day in the sun a little while ago. My fingers don't have trouble with any other needles. Like I know some people's like skin oils really deteriorate needles. I don't have that problem, but the pony blacks I do. They feel really odd in my hands. But these pony needles with the colored heads are my absolute favorite needles to use. Also, I feel like they might be easier to find when you drop them, which I've gotten much better about, especially now that we have cats in the house. But I feel like that, like just a little bit of added color makes life a little bit better. And if you haven't tried them yet, I highly recommend them. There's also like a really cool pack of them that you can buy that has like a bunch of different sizes in it. And I tend to stitch on higher count fabrics, so I use a 28 needle, and that works the best. I have a pack of, like I ordered a long time ago from Trish at 3 Owl Threads. She did like a, I don't know, she must have made like a giant bulk order at Bowen, and I had like little, I think I ordered 25 28 count needles and 25 26, or I guess it's gauge needles. And so I still have a bunch of the 26s from that, so I haven't ordered ponies in the 26, but I did place an order for like 2 packs of these 28s, and I absolutely love them. Just that's hilarious. Have you seen the like Freddie Mercury? You have to have seen it. The like meme where he's like pulling the thread. I get sent that by our stitching group a couple times a year usually. It'll like make the rounds again, and everyone's like, "Look, Marissa, it's you and your giant thing." Okay, I'm halfway done with this color. This last color. We're getting so close. Yeah, it's a good one. I feel like everybody recognizes us with our crazy long pulls of floss. Happy to be thought of. I probably deal with knots more often than people who stitch smaller lengths do, but that is quite all right. Now, I probably should have posted on Instagram that I was going live on YouTube, but I got so excited that I was going to have a few minutes, and then also I realized like I need to do this now because I'm going to need to cook dinner for my family at some point, and we're already like I'm kind of pushing the limits here on where we're at, but I don't think my kids will mind because they got some unearned screen time, so mommy could finish her project. My husband's in the other room hiding and watching hockey, so I have peace and quiet to film a like final stretch. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, after I finish this line that I'm on right now, because I don't know how many stitches are in this line, because I'm obviously not counting. But after I finish this line that I'm on right now, I will only have 7 stitches left. And this is amazing. And I am really grateful for those of you that are here with me. So thank you for watching. Such an exciting moment. I think that this will be like the longest it's ever taken me for a project, which I feel like on this project is sort of understandable. But holy cow. These motifs are also pretty. The new one that Beth Twist came out with is also amazingly pretty. No, Freddie Mercury wasn't a stitcher. There's just a really funny meme that like uses a pose of his and has floss in it in a and a hoop like just superimposed into it. I mean, maybe he was. I highly doubt it though. We got Taylor Swift though, right? So there's that. My kids are opening their door. They're gonna come downstairs and be like, "You're on your last 7 stitches. We need to make chaos in the world." They always have impeccable timing, don't they? I feel like I wish there was so much more embroidery in Bridgerton, because it's always about the dancing and pianoforte. Let's talk about their embroidery skills. I feel like it would show up every now and then. Okay, y'all. Oh, that was the wrong hole. Okay, we're almost there. Sorry, I had to get quiet because I don't want to fudge this up right at the end. Okay, one more stitch. One. I'm just going to do it two-handed so you can see it. It's done. Consider the Lilies is done. It's finished. I really want to know more about what Taylor Swift is stitching to. You guys, I finished Consider the Lilies. This project is giant and I love it so much. Okay, we'll take it off. We gotta take it off. I know. I'm so stoked. Thank you for joining me. That is so awesome. Okay. Also, I've seen a lot of people stitch with this part of their Lowry stand up. Like they do it upside down for me. I don't know. I feel like it's weird. I also, though, as you can see, I stitch in I stitch in the well of my project instead of stitching. I feel like other people, I don't even know what it's called when you stitch the other way. I just know that it's called stitching in the well, the way that I do it. Yeah, oh, it is an heirloom piece. And then I'm like looking at the new one, like, oh, maybe I should do that one. I could put it next to it. Oh. Okay, let's see. Actually, I'm just gonna put this down on my ottoman so you guys can see it. It's dark in my house right now, though. But there she is in all her glory. Oh, so cool. Ah, thank you. All right, bonus kitties. Bonus kitties. Hi, kitties. Hi, look, you're famous. Hi, sir. Hello. They are house panthers. Oop, he's our scaredy cat. He doesn't like pets. Thought I was going to get to do it, though. He seemed very interested. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I will see you on FlossTube and Instagram. Thank you again. Bye.